My wife, Caitlin.
Caitlin! I know I said that. I just pressed record when I didn't press record before you said that, so I wanted to get you to say it again.
And we're so into the ginger cause that even our dog is a redhead.
Yes! I love this. This is going to be a great story. I can't wait to see what he or she has to say.
Oh, boy.
Is your dog a he or a she?
It's a he.
That one's Wesley.
Fantastic. So it's Saturday.
It is Saturday.
Saturday in the middle of a global pandemic.
Right. And you guys get a chance to relax a tiny bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just wanted to raise the laptop up a smidge.
So you can see.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So no photographing today, I guess. It's been postponed.
Yeah, all of our shoots are postponed until at least May right now, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit sad.
We had the original stay-at-home order for Indiana was supposed to expire in April.
On Tuesday.
Yep, and then they pushed it back. So now the whole month of April we're on lockdown. And Hi, little Ginger.
She's a little Ginger. That's Aria. Still in her PJs.
So yeah, everything is pushed back, which is a
Right.
shame because we had 2 ginger maternity sessions on the calendar.
Oh, no way.
We would have been up to ginger 63, but we're still stuck at 59.
Wow.
Because we had to push back all the other ones.
Yeah, so I just want to go back for a quick second and have you guys explain ginger cat photography, because those who are going to watch this probably don't know what that means and who that is and what it's all about. I want you to throw it out there because I think it's so cool what you're doing.
Awesome. Well, ginger cat photography all started with Ginger Cat herself. So just a little photo company that started doing all sorts of portraits until we decided 2 years ago we want to try to do something for the local redhead community.
Right.
And just photograph a handful of redheads. And that has since evolved from just a handful to 59 right now.
Mm-hmm.
All mostly local redheads in Indiana, but it also includes some models who are assigned to agencies in different states as well as different countries.
Right.
Because we want to try to do this as we travel.
Right. And I think I know, but just to refresh my memory, it's all models, or does it have to be models that you're photographing?
No, it is actually more non-models than it is models.
Okay.
We started it, like he said, as a personal side project. Growing up as a ginger, I didn't really like it.
Right.
I was always teased. I was always told that it was bad to be a redhead. And then all of a sudden society, changed their mind about us. But I never, I'd come into the fact that, it is something that makes me unique. It is something that makes me special. And I feel like there's not a lot of us left
Right.
in the world. So I want to photograph as many of us that I can, and show that we're not two the same. Even if they're twins or triplets, they have their own personality, and their hair is different.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us have freckles, some of us don't, some of us tan, some of us don't. And it goes across a lot of cultures too. And so that's kind of what started it, and we didn't know that it was gonna be able to bloom into what it has, but we're very, very fortunate that it's gotten to be as many as we've gotten to photograph.
Right.
But yes, it is mostly non-models, just redheads in general.
That's great. And I guess a question I didn't ask before when I was talking to you, Jason, last week, was when it comes down to the people that you're working with, all of course with red hair, what do you hear from them? What are you hearing from them as you're going through your session? You're probably asking questions just as much as I'm asking questions here.
Mm-hmm.
What's going through their minds, and how are they sort of perceiving the fact that you're photographing and using that as a collection for a real purpose?
Well, one of the fun things is for some of these girls, it's their first time in front of the camera, or in a professional setting at least, not just selfies or family get-togethers.
Right.
This is their first time having portraits done of themselves in a controlled studio environment, and they always say, "Wow, I can't believe that's me,"
Right.
because you're able to capture something, the way that the light hits them or against a certain backdrop or with the right outfit. They'll say, "Wow, my eyes are really shining. Wow, I can't believe how red my hair looks right now. I can't believe how bold I'm looking at the moment." And it's really nice to see just a confidence boost as a side effect of these photo shoots.
Right.
It's incredible.
And
Uh,
you see that in them? You see that confidence boost coming out?
oh yeah, there
That's
was
awesome.
one girl that we had that wanted pictures before her 20th birthday. She was 19 at the time, and she was in a new relationship. She was doing some new things with school, and she was like, I just wanted to do something for me.
Mhm.
That's I just wanted to do this photo shoot, just to step out of my comfort zone. And the
Right.
pictures turned out awesome. And she waited until she turned 20. She posted all of them, and her hair was huge, just this long red hair and thick. And our hair and makeup stylist, Bridget, was the one that she hired for that. And she just gave her this big, like, Viking braid, and we put her in leather, and she
Cool.
just looked awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and it was just really enjoyable. And when we started the series, and we just called it Spring Roses.
Yep.
And we just wanted, it was right in that March, April season. And we just wanted to say, hey, winter's over, the sun is coming out, spring is here, and let's show these redheads in bloom. And it was really funny because we were having these girls wear spring outfits, but it was still 30 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Yeah. So it was spring in the photo. It was spring in the frame.
Exactly. The intention for spring was there, but
Yeah.
the Indiana weather did not want to
You know,
cooperate.
one of them was really funny. It was actually like April 1st. It should have been at least 50 degrees here.
Yeah.
The flowers had already started to bloom on the trees, like full bloom. It wasn't even like slight. And we had a snowstorm that weekend. And she did her photo shoot. I think it was 15 degrees outside and a like a
Mini.
regular mini dress, and we kept putting her in a coat or a jacket and some boots, and then putting her in
We
the,
had blankets
and
that
so
we were throwing over
she's
her.
literally like covered. You could see the trees all around her are white because of the bloom, but they're also white because of the snow.
Right.
And she's just in a regular like spring dress. And I was like, you are the bravest person I've ever met in my
Yeah.
life.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, you must have thousands of stories. I mean, hundreds of stories. Whatever it is. I mean, it's really cool. And another thing I wanted to dive in on that too. Now that I'm thinking of it, do you ever hear any of your subjects? We won't call them models. We'll call them subjects. Um, do any of them ever hear, or do you ever hear them say anything about their childhood? Do they talk about themselves in the past, or some of the things that they might have gone through? You must hear some of that.
Yeah, like I was saying, from personal experience, ginger was always a bad word, growing up. It was a stigma, it was almost a slur in a sense, because that's how people, use that word.
Right.
And I was actually talking to one of our gingers about it at a shoot, and she said, yeah, I never embraced it. I always got made fun of. I had horrible names growing up, but then as soon as I got out of high school, everything changed. Everybody wanted my hair. Everybody wanted to be like me. And so she's like, I really wanted to hide it for a really long time,
Mhm.
but wanting to embrace it now. And that's why she did the shoot. She's come into terms with that. She loves being a redhead and she loves being different, and she doesn't want to be like everybody else.
Right.
And so that's what I get from a lot of them. And the constant changing of color. Our hair has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
my favorite one I've heard so far, it wasn't even from a redhead we've shot yet, but I have a coworker that's a redhead, and he's a male redhead.
Yeah.
And he goes, I came out with the color of a stop sign. Because his hair is really faded
Right.
over time. It's not quite that red, but I was like, you're not really as red as you used to be. And he's like, nope, I came out like a stop sign. I guess you could call it a municipal hair color.
Yeah.
But just hearing, the things that we joke about now that, we didn't joke about growing up.
Right. And from one to another, I think it becomes, this, it's almost like, you're telling stories, it's not necessarily that you're putting it out there and poking fun at all. It's you can have that conversation because both of you likely, have been in the same boat as a lot of redheads. But stories are never always just about the bad and the ugly. There's a lot of great stories of people who have not really had, a ton of experience dealing with anything negative with having red hair, which brings me to the question for you, Caitlin. How did you tell us your childhood? How did it go for you? And were you in Indiana when you were in school and such like that?
So the funny thing to me is the earliest story I was told is my grandmother knew my mom was having a redhead.
Right.
She told her before, like, this was before the time of ultrasounds, and you can't tell a kid's hair color by an ultrasound.
Right.
So she kept telling
And
my
preface
mom
that with your mom being
brunette. And my mom's a brunette, my dad's blonde. So my grandma was like, you're gonna have a redhead, and she's like, no.
Yeah.
And she literally told her, better dead than red on the head.
Oh my gosh.
And my grandmother goes, you're going to eat your words. And I came out with flaming red hair.
Just like
and
that.
she also told her she was going to have twins. It was a really weird thing because I also have twin sisters.
Oh, cool.
But so that was kind of, I got made fun of in school, but my grandmother loved that she had a redheaded grandbaby.
Right.
It was her favorite thing. Anybody that I know now that knew my grandmother, the first thing that they would say to me is, "Oh, you're Vel's little redhead." That's how they knew me, is I was her little redhead. And so,
loved
I loved it because she loved it. But I did get made fun of, but I was the kid that I'd rather, care about academics and not really cared about people and their opinions. But it did sting when you got made fun of. But I just, like I said, with my grandmother loving it, I just embraced it as being different. And it was the one thing that I had that nobody else had.
Right. So it was a statement, you had that and you carried it with you all the way through.
Yes.
Now, as you grow older you finish school and you get out there and you're doing your thing. Do you notice it? Do you notice anything these days? I mean, it's, it sounds like you didn't, it sounds like you had a pretty really good early start to your childhood and all that kind of stuff with your hair. So that's awesome. Cause I guess there's bits and pieces of stories where it can be a lot more negative and positive is so good too, and we're hoping that people who are watching this series are going to pull inspiration from all the videos that we're going to put up here, so it's great to have this diverse sort of storytelling that always, that has different outcomes and different versions.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I just try not to focus on the negative anymore just because, it is something that people want. I've had people that literally have come up to me and wish that they could get my hair in a bottle.
Right.
Why can't I get that in a bottle? And I was like, it's never going to be in a bottle.
Good luck. Yeah. And if it is, somebody's going to be extremely, extremely happy.
Yeah.
Develop that.
Absolutely. And not to say that they haven't come a long way with hair dye. There are a lot of red shades that are very similar to what I've seen. We've been fooled by a couple redheads in our series that weren't really redheads.
One of our first redheads that we photographed, turns out she is not a genuine redhead.
She was born a blonde.
But she has dyed her hair red for so many years that the majority of her portfolio is as a redhead. And she's just taken it and ran with it. And now it's a natural look.
Yeah, she's an honorary redhead. So does that mean she gets to stay in the collection?
Yeah, we left her in the collection. We like her. She like he said, she said she's been a redhead since her probably early teenage years.
Hmm.
So she's like, you could try to find photos of me as a blonde, but there's not very many left.
Yeah.
That's really
Uh,
cool.
so yeah, we've kept a couple, but
I
for the
think
most part, I think they're
Yeah.
they're almost all
most of our
genuine.
girls are genuine.
We've got a couple honoraries.
We had some fun experience with, I told you we did that ginger group shoot where we
Yes.
had 19 redheads together, and 3 of them decided to touch up their red hair for summer
Oh,
right before the shoot. And one of them, boy, she went Ronald McDonald red, and she could not fix it. She couldn't wash it
no.
out. So you just see this red, fire engine red. And she was like, "That's not what I asked for, but it's what happened." And
It's not.
It looked really good on her, but that's the stigma of why dye your red hair red. Like,
Right, exactly. I guess in the business that you guys are in, the saying would have stayed true. We'll fix it in post.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Lightroom will help us, or
Lightroom
Photoshop,
will
whatever
help
it is.
Exactly. But yeah, we had a couple of girls dye it just to touch it up and give it, I guess, from that fall fading. They just didn't want that to happen. So they decided to add to it. And it all looked great, but it really did help with that shoot. We wanted it to kind of represent the change from summer to autumn and the changing of the leaves and how the autumn leaves really do come in a variety of colors.
Mm,
And those girls, I mean, they killed it.
yeah,
It was fantastic.
I will say the photos look fantastic, and if I can figure a way to throw a few photos up on this video after we're done, I'll certainly do that because
Oh yeah, we'll definitely send some over.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're fantastic, and just for those who aren't who are watching, I mean, we're going to try to be working together with Ginger Cat, Jason and Caitlin. So we're excited about that. Like I said, the photos that we've seen so far have just been spectacular. So job well done for you guys. It's
Thank you so
really
much.
cool. And so then the collections that you did, such as the one you just talked about. I know I've asked you this before, Jason. Where are those going to live at some point? What's
So
happening with them?
the goal is to eventually compile everything together into a book, into a gallery,
Yeah.
into something, something tangible. Because right now we have printed a mini book just for ourselves of that redhead collection from the
Oh,
group
cool.
shoot, just to see like, hey, what does this look like? How is everything represented? And each girl got her own page. We had 2 fleshly sisters that we paired them off together, so they have one extra page for themselves.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the group shots have their own spreads as well.
Oh, cool.
And I mean, it looks awesome. It looked great.
Is it right in front of you there? Is it in here?
Might have to,
He's got to move
Scott,
the
we're
laptop.
currently
Hold on.
resting on it.
It's all right. Let's have a look at this. I'm now you've got me intrigued.
Yeah, I threw a live photo of our setup right now where it's the laptop is on a stack of books.
Got it.
So
Oh, awesome.
each of them have their own spread.
Fantastic. That's fantastic, guys. That's
And
unreal.
she's one of the ones that touched up.
Okay.
And then so was C, but hers came out way more natural.
Right. Like I'm just floored, you guys. Like these shots are
There's
fantastic.
the
Oh, that's a group shot. I love that.
Yep.
So you had them all together for that shot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he also had me in the shot, but I do not like my photo taken. So I did not allow myself. We had several of the shots, and I did not put myself in the book.
Okay.
These are the 2 fleshly sisters.
I see. Great.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, so eventually we'd like to do in my terms, a coffee table book.
Yeah.
But a little bit bigger than this one, and and I'd like to put some redhead facts because there is some really fascinating things about redheads that people don't often know. Not just the fact that we don't tan very well,
Yeah.
um, but that we're, the genetic side of things, how you get a redhead in a family, how you know, that all those different
And that was it.
fun facts. So
Yeah, that's fun. That's really, really, really fun. I like that.
So yeah, that was our trial run from that, and
we plan on doing this series about once a year. It might be postponed this year because of
Yeah.
COVID, but
we were supposed to have a start of spring one.
Yes.
We had the location planned out. It was a old church that was turned into a wedding venue,
Okay.
and they let you use it for whatever you want. And we had the email sent, we had the plan ready to go, we had the girls lined up, and it was just going to be Kat and I, because the big ginger shoot, we ended up inviting other photographers to participate.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is just going to be for us, a smaller group, floral dresses.
I wanted it more of like a vintage look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time, focus on the different colors and
Some pastels.
but yeah, pastels and florals and
Cool.
really
But yeah,
change
that was the
look.
plan, and that was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah. Not going to happen for a while.
Yeah.
So okay. So then you guys are out there. We connected through social media, which, it's really fun. You never know what you're going to run into and who you're going to run into. And so I'm so excited that we had a chance to cross paths. And so you're doing some collaborations already, even before I met you. You're doing collaborations with other social media groups or accounts or even other websites. What are some of those?
So we've done a couple of things for local restaurants and chefs, because we also do food photography.
Right.
And we've done a lot to promote them on the business side. Also, a lot of distilleries, which is great, because when you're in a pandemic, being friends with distilleries means that you have plenty to drink while you're locked in, and you don't have to run out to the liquor store. So that has paid off this
Right.
last couple of months.
Right.
There is a distillery that is a redhead based distillery that we've been in talks with off and on about doing a series with one of our redheads.
Cool.
But again, pandemic kind of postponed that a little, and I don't want to name the distillery because we haven't settled that. But that is something that is in our books. But we're always looking for more. We like to shout out how to be a redhead a lot. I get their monthly box, and I do like an unveiling of that, because anything we can do to support other redheads, and any business like that. A lot of our collaborations for models and such right now are kind of on hold, so we don't have anything currently coming up when it comes to that.
Just for a few more weeks at least.
Yeah.
But the rebellious side of me is ready to break quarantine with a couple of these girls as soon as we get our authentic ginger box.
It's on its way, by the way. I should let you know.
There's like 3 that I can reach out to that will break quarantine with me, which is fantastic.
That's amazing. And I should say that, the box that was sent officially yesterday, you got my message, though, in the mail, too. Or you got my message in email, too, or about the other part. Yeah. So yours are coming as well, just at a later date. But the box is coming with, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 different pieces. So
fantastic.
There'll be a good variety, and they're all different sizing and such like that too. So you'll be able to have some fun with that. And
fantastic. I don't know if you've checked out our Instagram feed in the last day or two, but we started posting just some stuff that we haven't had a chance to post yet, just because of how busy we've been.
Yeah.
And 2 of the girls are redheads.
Yeah.
One of her photos reached just under 900 likes in the last couple of days, and the other one crossed 1,000 this morning for another girl. And that girl is 14. She signed with an agency here in Indiana, and we've been working with her since she was 12 years old, and got that very first set that we worked with her published.
Yep.
And it's been a blast to see her
Excellent.
grow, and literally grow, because she's taller than I am now. And yeah, it's fantastic.
And so, okay, so if there's people, if there are models out there, or even just people in general that you know that have a look at this video, they find it, they look at it, they go, geez, you know, how do I get a hold of these people? And what do I have to be an agency? Do I not have to be an agency? Like, you work with agencies if they are with an agency already and that kind of thing, and if they're not, that's fine too, right?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. If they are signed with an agency, they need to tell us up front, you know, if the agency does need approval, because we are currently trying to work really hard with agencies, so we don't want to step on anyone's toes by working with someone who is agency signed.
Some agencies, they just need you to sign off saying, hey, here's my concept, here's what I want to do to develop with this model, and just get the blessing of the agency.
Yeah.
Some agencies, they don't strictly enforce that. So
Right.
it really kind of depends.
Yeah, so if they have an agency that doesn't care for, you know, free or collaborations, don't have to tell us about your agency. But yeah, like we said earlier, we definitely, especially with our Redhead series, are not focused purely on models.
Yeah.
We want the authentic Ginger experience. We want it to be, I grew up, you know, this is my hair, you know, this is my story. And we just want to be able to have fun and just do it, you know, a Redhead empowerment series and keep it going.
And even just the variety of spice for a redhead, and it's fantastic to see. We've had some girls come in very shy, very tame fashion, and we've brought that out and just see that natural beauty in them. And then some girls are a little bit more wild, so the fashion is a lot bolder. We
Right.
had one redhead come in, another one who has been a dyed redhead for many years, and it just looks natural on her. She lit these 4-foot fire fans in our studio, and we were on standby with a bucket of water and 2 fire extinguishers,
Wow.
just in case something happened. But it was a rainy day. We were supposed to shoot outside.
Yeah.
It was pouring. It was cold. So we're like, well, we'll just move it in and be as safe as possible.
Right.
And those pictures turned out amazing.
Are those photos on your Instagram account?
I do believe so. They're a little bit further
Yeah.
down, but yeah, it's we did.
They're from exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And if
But
people want to find you guys, what is the Instagram account that they can hop onto?
Instagram is Ginger Cat Photography, cat with a K. And the same on Facebook. I think Ginger Cat is one word.
Okay.
So
I think it all is just Ginger Cat Photography, all one word, right?
well, if you search
Yeah.
it on Facebook, but I think there's a couple different Ginger Cat accounts open on Facebook, so just know that it's the one worded one.
Right.
If you're searching in the search bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have a website, gingercatphotography.com.
Great. Yeah, and I'll post those down in the description too, so that people can follow through to those and have a look. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's truly wonderful. I mean, as I said, I keep saying this to you guys. I'm so excited that I had a chance to come across you guys, and Jason, our video call we had last week, or however long it was now. Days are all coming together.
All one big day, right?
Yeah, that's right. You know, I just got a great sense of you know, of expression from you guys, and excitement, and you know, just fun. You know, so I'm super excited to work with you guys in the coming months. Hopefully, even longer than that, on collaborating on a more than just one project. I have a few in mind too that I'm excited to share, and so we'll do that. But for now, you know, I appreciate you guys taking some time on your Saturday to hang out with me for 25 minutes, half an hour, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
No, we're just really excited that you thought of us to be included in promoting the Authentic Ginger brand. We can't wait to get that rolling. We definitely look forward to getting out of the house again, because the weather is starting to warm up nicely. And then whenever we're able to get over to your neck of the woods, I did a little bit of research. I think I told you that we have this website that we're a part of that we can kind of filter out a certain type of model.
Okay.
And the Nova Scotia area has 7 redheads, at least are part of this one website.
Yeah.
And all of Canada had 250, and all of the US had 2,600.
Right.
So we have our work cut out for us.
Amazing.
To
Amazing.
authentic gingers, we need to find them coast to coast across
we'll
North
help you.
America.
That's part of my mission too. So together we should be able to get all of them.
Exactly.
Little by little, that would be great. But
Yeah.
no, besides that, we're just looking forward to shooting again and looking forward to see how this all shakes loose. When we finally hit 50 redheads in our project, just under the 2-year mark, it was like 21 months
Right.
we were able to do that. And it was just a blast. And then in the interim, to get 9 more after that in just 2 months was a blast.
Yeah.
Each session is different, each look is different.
Right.
And we're just excited that we can finally share some of these images and catch up and really bring attention to the beauty of redheads.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm going to share that too on my social sites. So that'll happen here in the next few days, and so you'll see this too up there too as well. So again, guys, I'm glad to meet you, Kat. I'm going to call you Kat now. I think it's okay for me to call you Kat. I was going to call you Caitlin again, but I said, nah, we're gonna go by Kat now.
Cat works.
My sister's name is Catherine, and I call her Kat too. So
Cool.
but there you go. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Can't wait to do this again, and I think we should probably connect in the next, probably the early of next week, and start getting some conversations going.
Sounds great.
Darren, hope you and your tribe stay safe up there, and just keep us posted on everything, and we'll talk very soon.
You bet, guys. Have a great one. Take care.
Take it easy, bud.
Bye.
Bye.